Okay, so hi everybody. We are going to start the webinar today with me and Josh. Of course, the first part of this webinar is about Medicare. And like I was telling Heather a little bit earlier, it looks like that we're used to having about 25 to 30 people on the call, and it looks like right now we're down to about six. But of course, we're in the last stretch of AEP, so we understand that. I think everybody's exhausted and busy, and we've got that. So Josh and I are going to what we've got to share today is hopefully we are going to just pump you up this morning. That's what we've got in mind because we know everybody is just worn out at this point and exhausted. We got that from Alicia first thing. I know she said she's been working from 7:30 until about 10:30 at night and is just worn out. So we know everybody is, and this is your last stretch of AEP, and we want to just give you a little pump up this morning and finish you out strong with AEP. So that's what we've got in mind this morning. And just to kind of talk to you a little bit about how to finish out AEP strong. So Josh, you jump in here at any time. I see that you've muted yourself, so unmute yourself.
Yeah, I figure out how to
Um,
get back. No,
Go
I
ahead.
look. Lisa was like, "Hey, we're gonna have our call." I said, "Well, we're gonna have to pump them up, all three that show up, because probably everybody else is working." Good. Um, I know that if you think about it in football, I know that like Lisa's a big Alabama football fan. Okay, so if you think in those terms, we have just finished the halftime show. Okay, and so now, we're in that third quarter. I think when we calculated, we went back and forth on calculations. Because I count Sundays after church. You have to go to church if you're listening to me, okay? Don't be skipping church to do all this stuff, okay? And but I think if we took out Thanksgiving, what was it, Lisa? Like 19 days?
You've got 18 more days of AEP. That's it.
But the good news is this year, when our fourth quarter ends on December 7th, in Alabama, we have three different companies with CSIPs now. So we're going to overtime year round. You know what I mean? So we have a lot of opportunity. And that's some things that we're going to go over with y'all after this. So just to keep that momentum going as we go into OEP and all that stuff. But today, Lisa is going to steal the show and pump us up.
Just keep in mind that the last weeks can be your highest producing days. Just small bursts of efforts now create big year-end results. Your clients need you the most when deadlines get close. You know, as agents, we all get really frustrated because everybody waits till the last minute. If this is your first AEP and you're on the phone, you may not be aware of that, but if you've done this for several years, you know that they always wait till the last minute because they think they're the only person that you deal with. So they think, okay, well, I can wait till December 6th to give them a call because I have another day. Well, they don't realize that everybody's waiting till December 6th to give you a call. But they want you to help them. And so it just can get very crazy these last few weeks or days, and they just depend on you to help them. So we just got to focus on a winning mindset and focus on progress. We've got to start each day with clarity. And remember, you change people's lives by the work that you do. So just keep that in mind. People depend on us no matter how we feel what we do when we wake up every morning, but we do important work. People depend on us to know these things. I have heard so many times sitting in my office. My office is really close to Heather's. It's real close to Erica's, and they meet with people all the time. And I hear constantly, I came in and thought that this was going to be so difficult. I've been so stressed about this coming in here and doing this, and you've made this so easy for me. And they leave, and it's just amazing how easy and wonderful that that experience was for them. And you just don't realize what you do for people when they come in and they leave, and it was so easy for them. So just keep that in mind. You do change lives with the work that you do. But these last 18 days, you've got to get motivated. So, Josh, talk a little bit about getting motivated.
Well, so before I even go to that, I want to just touch on something you talked about. These last weeks could be the most, the most fruitful ones that you have all year. We see on average that the last week of December, and I'm not joking when I tell you the stat, people have more sales than all of November. Now that's crazy because you're talking about 1 week versus the whole month and all. But historically, that's what we see. And so with that, um, she has some things on here. We're talking about motivation is the process that initiates, guides, and sustains goal-oriented behavior effectively. And we, as agents and all, we have to keep in mind, even when we get tired and we get worn out, that end goal. Like she was saying earlier, it sure is nice to get that check in January, in February, and so you got to keep that in mind. Okay, uh, you may not be where you want to be right now up to this point where you set your goals. Okay, and that's not okay. That's okay, but it may not be okay to you. You know what I mean? You want to hit those goals, but that's the thing is finishing strong and keeping that motivation. Whether and I tell people to write things down, whether it be your family or whether it be that big check, whatever it is for you that motivates you. Just you got to keep going and you got to finish strong. Okay, so don't give up is my motto for the day. All right, because you're at even this year. Even when December 7th ends, and I know OEP doesn't start to January 1st, well, because of CSNPs, remember, you can still ride them to the end of December. So if you hadn't hit your goal by December 7th, you know, figure out in your area, do I have an opportunity to ride a few more before the end of the year? So things like that. Um, we talk about, I'm a big proponent of having energy. Okay. I think that's on one of your slides coming up. But show up with energy every day. Okay. Like I said, we know we're tired, our mind, mental, the aspects, you're probably, like I said, kids, whatever else. For me, it's getting home and, I've already went through, school and graduate school, and now I got to do more homework for another hour. So, just keeping that clarity. Lisa always has that energy. Lisa, what you think about energy? It's important.
It's very, yeah, for some reason I can't change my screen. Hold on just a second. I'm going to have to reshare it. Hold on just a minute.
While, she,
Okay,
while she's doing that, just
there you go.
remember we have Thanksgiving coming up. Okay, so one way to boost sales during Thanksgiving is, or after, the day before, or the day after, is when you talk to people and you have appointments. Hey, look, they have family members in town. You know what I mean? The more, the merrier. You're inviting folks to those things. Sorry, go ahead, Lisa.
Okay. Know what's going on, y'all? I'm sorry. It is just not wanting to change the screen here. Okay. But there's the show up with energy. We know you're tired. You've got to bring positivity into every conversation. Clients respond to confidence and calm. So you've got to protect your energy, even if it's taking a purposeful break. If you've got to take a break so that you can, you know, regain that energy, you need to do that. And we've got to have patience. I know that at our office, sometimes Beverly's just got to come in and sit in my office just to regain her patience. Yesterday, even Ike walked into my office. There was a lady in his office that was calling her dentist. And so he just got up from his desk and walked around. And we were just going, "What you doing?" He said, "I've just got to regain my patience right now." So everybody has to do it. It just takes time for you to do that everybody has to do it. So we've just got to realize that sometimes you just have to take that break. So give me just a second. I don't know what is going on, y'all, but we'll get it
Hey,
to
hey, have
restart.
patience, Lisa.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying, Josh. I really am. There we go. But you want to maximize every opportunity that you've got. Making just one extra call per day just could give you those dozens more. So if you're not where you want to be, just make sure that you make that one extra call per day. So if you're not at your goal, just try to extend that just a little bit more every day. But follow ups will help you convert at the highest rate. So if you have a follow up that you need to do, make sure that you do it. If it was somebody that maybe you can convert, make sure that you make that follow up and lean into urgency. This is a big deal for me. When you're calling somebody that you need to follow up with, you've got to make it urgent for them. Make sure that you're telling them, "Look, we've got to get you on the book." Because if you don't make it urgent, they're not going to make it urgent. So you've got to make it sound like we have got to get you on the schedule today. Don't let them say, "Well, let me think about it and I'll give you a call back." You've got to make it sound urgent in your mind, and they're going to feel that sense of urgency too. But if you don't sound urgent, they're not going to feel like it's urgent either. But AEP ends soon. Like we told you, you've only got 18 more days. And that's if you're going to work Saturdays and Sundays. And if you're not, you've got even less days than that.
That's the most important thing, Lisa. I think on the whole slide right here is urgency. Oh, you have to do that in these last weeks.
That's right.
And go to church on Sundays, everybody.
That's right.
Lisa got on earlier.
But your expertise matters. You bring clarity to a confusing process, and this is very confusing for people. I mean, as much as I see it on TV and it gets on my nerves, just imagine how confusing it makes for the people sitting at home when they're 75 and all they're seeing on the TV is they can get $3,000 worth of free stuff or $3,000 worth of dental, and that's all they're hearing, and people are calling them. But you can bring clarity to that for them. You help them save money and gain benefits. You provide confidence at a stressful time for them. So just keep that in mind. I have a lot of agents that may be new, or maybe they're not new, and that's their personality, but they feel like they're bothering people. And listen, you're not bothering people. Your expertise in this matters because they don't know. You're the one that knows. So just remember that. Josh?
Hey, look, y'all amazing of Lisa. We were big this. Um, we've been, you stuff. This some of the first time I've ever done this. So just to continue to confide. Don't feel like you're on a. You have a lot of support. And then you have this heart. You're gonna hit. Gonna do great. One thing, it's not too when you're out and about talking about going back to the thought of urgency. Um, you know, still continue to drop your cards off at dental offices, at these physicians when you're out and about running appointments and things like that. And when you talk to them and the folks in the front, you know, that urgency needs to go to them too. Hey, just remember, look, time's running out December the 7th. You need to send everybody you can, help as many people, before we sing and open Christmas presents. So,
You're going to reach your goal at the end of this. You're going to finish strong and finish proud. Just show up and stay focused. You've got this. Just remember that. Today, what we wanted to do was just pump you up a little bit and make sure that you're going towards the goal. Like we said, you've only got 18 more days left. We want to make sure that you realize you've only got 18 more days left and you're seeing the goal or the finish line. And we just wanted to pump you up to get you there a little bit today. So I hope that that's what this did. Another thing I wanted to pass along is that Josh sent out this email the other day. I'm not sure how many of you got it, but it gave you the actual numbers that have come out with the Part A and Part B and the deductible numbers. We use these chalkboards at our office, and I have this printed with those actual numbers that have come out. So if you would like this, just let me know and I can send it out to you. So I wanted to let you know, I'll let you all know that I have this. So
hey, and also we're going to be up educational presentation numbers. We have to wait until officially, well, like we kind of sneak peek at these, which are official, but until they post it, we can't put it in there. So as soon as we get that, we'll do it. If you do any educational seminars at all before we get this thing out, just use the 25 one. You can just reference, hey, the numbers are changing to this. So, but hey, y'all, remember one thing. I think we say this all the time. Another way to boost those sales those last week is you ask for referrals. And when you're talking to people that are your current clients, hey, they may be staying on the best plan. They're where they need to be. Somebody that needs your help. Don't forget that.
So keep going. You're almost there. And like Alicia said, you're going to get a big old check in January. So it's going to be exciting, all the money you're making. And, we're not all in this for the money. We're helping a lot of people, but that is sometimes our end goal. Whatever we're wanting to purchase or whatever we're wanting to do for our family, just remember you're almost there.
Yeah.
So just keep that in mind.
Hey, and listen here, y'all all go right now to the car lot near you, purchase a car, and just work hard. I'm sure you'll pay it off.
If anybody's got any questions about Medicare, you can come off mute and we can answer any questions that you've got. Otherwise, we will just head on to ACA with Heather.
Okay. Well, if no one has questions, then I will stop this recording.
Thank you, Heather.